Look out of the window with all my heart, but I'll find love of the same sort and fall apart. Maybe we can be something new. Are you ready for us? 'Cause I'm ready for you. Are you ready for us? We can be something new. Are you ready for us? 'Cause I'm ready for you. Are you ready for us? To be something new. We'll follow where the wind blows and see the heights. Late walks to let go, taking the sights. Maybe we can be something new. Are you ready for us? 'Cause I'm ready for you. Are you ready for us? We can be something new. Are you ready for us? 'Cause I'm ready for you. Are you ready for us? To be something new. All honesty, we're slipping off slowly, so hold on to me. All honesty, we're slipping off slowly, so hold on to me. We can be something. Are you ready for us? 'Cause I'm ready for you. Are you ready for us? We can be something new. Are you ready for us? Oh, 'cause I'm ready for you, ready for you. Are you ready for us? We can be something new. Are you ready for us? Are you ready for us? We can be something new. Are you ready for it? Are you ready for it? We can be something new.
Could be the sunset or just the look in your eyes that shines so bright. Reach out over the ocean waves and try to come to life. Don't let go of the bright blue sky because the future's looking far too light. Are you ready for a long dive ship to set sail and carry me through the starry night? Dream of me whenever you are feeling oh so lonely. Try to leave your fears behind. We are locked in an orbit racing round the docks of moonlit worlds that make a light. Keep your eyes on mine. Touchdown on the surface of my heart. The feeling's never gone. A brave adventurer like me. Members everywhere that I've come from. Keep your feet to the vacuum sky, 'cause it's surrounding us out here. fears behind. We are locked in an orbit racing round the dots of moonlit worlds that make a light. Keep your eyes on mine.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to BlackOut Gaming TV, continuing our coverage of the 6v6 Nations Cup from ETF2L, where all of the best players around the world are participating for their countries to find the best nation in TF2 6v6. I am CeeJaey, and I'm joined by Beta tonight with John on the camera. Beta, how's it going, man?
I am doing well, thank you. And I'm looking forward to this match. I think it's going to be a very close one, so I think we have quite the battle ahead of us. So if we can just figure out what the rosters are, we'll be doing great. You know, the Polish people, they tend to fake Nick quite a bit. But I think we can, with a little bit of cunning, actually figure out who is who here.
I think the Finnish roster is actually they're all tagged up correctly. So do you want to take us through who's playing for Finland tonight?
Yeah, sure. So on Medic, we have Kofan. who I have actually played with in a team before, so he's pretty good. Looking forward to it. And then we have on Demo Man we have Iku, and then on Pocket I think it's Sue, and then Tonmas is gonna be Romer. I think at least that's a role. And then we have Hank and Tomba. I think is that Tomba? Is that like his actual name? I think it is. So
I think it is, yeah.
Yeah, so that's a pretty good scout combo. I think Tomba is probably the biggest question mark there.
I think I would say Tomba's playing because obviously we have Ast, who is I think the star name for Finland. He's playing in a show match tonight for Full Tilt, so obviously to try and get their funds up ready for I-58. So yeah, Ast is unavailable tonight, which I would say is a huge deal for them. If this was against a really, really big team, it might make a big difference. But I would say, regardless, Finland are the favourites. I mean, they do have some big names. I mean, Zub, obviously, former Premiership soldier, has been around. Tonmas has obviously played Prem. Hank as well. Iku, just all of these players have got a lot of experience. Although the Polish roster, which I tried to work out who's who. So we've got Grabber, obviously, is going to be playing Medic. We have Wanzu and Bednar, who are going to be the soldiers. Keski is here. He's tagged up on ETF2L as KWQ. So I'm just going to call him Keski because that's far easier to pronounce. And I don't know what he's going to be playing, so we'll have to find out.
I think he's Demo Man.
Demo Man, okay. So we've got Rad as well, who is here as a scout. And I do believe the other scout is Wonder. So I think Rad is playing tonight instead of Doom. And quite like Finland missing Ast to Poland missing Doom, I think it's quite a big deal. I mean, Doom, season before last, his team, he was a top high scout, and I'd still say he is a top high scout. He's probably more well known in the community as being, an engineer. He's been engineer of the season in Highlander the past couple of seasons, but as a scout, his team got to the playoffs. He's a very strong scout, so I think that's a bit of a disappointment for him to miss out on this game. But Wonder obviously has played Prem before, and the Polish, Wanzu, Grabber, they've all played Prem, so it's quite a lot of Prem players here. But I mean, it's like you said, it should be a close encounter.
Yeah, I think Poland is like kind of a wild card team. Like sometimes they can be really, really good, and other times they just look like complete garbage. So it's a very inconsistent team, and just sometimes they will just be looking like they're the best team around. So if they can just control their inconsistency and get their act together and not overextend stupidly and actually play together as a team, I think they actually have a pretty decent shot at this, because this is not Finland in their strongest lineup, and also just Finland, I don't think they're as strong as they've been in sort of seasons past.
Yeah, I mean, Poland's always, they have this kind of close community of players. Players like Wonder and Wanzu have played together for a long time, and they have been Polish-only sides, playing quite near the top. And they've done well for themselves so far. Just trying to find out what group they were in. They were in Germany's group, I believe. They finished joint second in the group involving Germany, Norway, and Bulgaria. And they were tied on points with Norway, and they won a tiebreaker to get to the knockout rounds. So, they've played the 3 matches across in the group stage, and obviously they've had to go through an extra game. So maybe a little bit more practice for the Poles having to go through that tiebreaker. And knocking out Norway is no mean feat, who themselves have got, they had a lot of old school Sixers players playing for their roster. So, not too shabby actually. And, Finland, they had probably arguably an easier group with Netherlands, Austria, and Spain, and Netherlands finishing runner-up in that group, but again, maybe only Captain and Damiezy, the names that stood out for that side when the two came up against each other. So I don't think Finland have really been tested so far. I don't think they've really had to get out of second gear yet. So maybe that kind of lack of testing, shall we say, against a team that's been practicing quite a lot might come into play here. But we are going live, Beaton. So we've got Finland in the blue and Poland in the red. And do you want to take us away on the first gully mid?
Sure, will do. So we see the Quickie Bomb launcher here spamming up onto the red demo, but so far not doing any damage. Actually, Hank jumps in really fast and just gets taken down. And everyone from Finland are just out already. So disastrous mid here for Finland.
Look at Zub!
Oh!
Huge damage from Zub. Really late jump. I had no idea where he came from, but I saw him flying through the air. And he picks up Grabber there. So yeah, I mean, looking like Finland. Oh no, Cawthon! Cawthon dies to Wanzu! Oh, the soldier's going huge here in the first 10 seconds. And I was going to say that puts Finland in a bit of an advantage, keeping their med alive and getting out there. But Wanzu chasing and Wonder dying there. It's just going to slow things down a bit as Finland are looking to try to defend this. Thomas is jumping in, just trying to block that capture on the second point, and it looks like they are succeeding, as Poland don't actually have their heals at the choke just yet. Grabber will have about 10% advantage, but it's practically nothing beater. But lots of action already, but Poland's kind of taking advantage.
Yeah, they're just pushing in straight away. And they're just bullying them out here, and Grabber actually almost getting caught in. Wanders onto the medic, but he can't quite get it. So just a complete dry push here, just pushing off of better DM and better heals, I suppose. Takes a lot of confidence to make that kind of push. And Soup goes down here to Keski as he tries to push forward. So I think this will put the brakes on it for now. And there's actually still an Uber advantage here for Poland. It's actually pretty significant now, when you're having these high pressure situations. So I think Finland would just cool the brakes here and just take a breather. But as I say that, there might be a guy behind. No. That was actually Bednar jumping around.
Yeah, I think they're just trying to calm things down a little bit now. It's been very hectic straight away. This is the knockout stages. It's not like, you lose this, you can go and win the rest of your games in the group or something like that. This is, you lose, that's it. And in comes Bednar, comes up from a drop, from drop down to get a force, but he doesn't even land any damage onto Cawthon. He was nice and safe, and that might trigger Finland to go in for something similar. But Zub flying through the air, he does land a rocket onto Grabber, but he does survive. So each team kind of, trading chess pieces here, just launching in a soldier, trying to get some sort of force. I do believe Zub is playing Roma with Tonmas on pocket. And Tonmas playing maybe, AMS is the, AMS is probably the first choice for Finland. And, I was talking to him the other day and Tonmas was saying, not sure whether I'll be playing, whether he'll be playing. So kind of a job share going on there. Both very good players, but maybe, like I said, a little bit of lack of practice with the same kind of lineup might affect Finland coming into this game, especially if they're missing, players like Ast. But we are kind of at a stalemate now with Zub coming in. He lands a great rocket onto one shoe, but doesn't manage to get any other damage. So weak. And we do have a sniper now, Beta. It looks like Wonder is trying to get some snips onto Choke.
Yeah, and this is a really good time to have a sniper just because you can kind of bully the other team because you have one more of a guy, right? So you could technically push on that, right? So you have to be careful not to get into a bad Uber situation. So usually that means that the sniper can get some room, but looks like he'll just chill and choke and just wait for some unlucky soul to just peek their head in. But yeah, not gonna happen. He will rotate into big door, where it's usually a lot easier to actually buy space, but a little bit too late here. And Tom has actually gone counter sniper as well.
Yeah, so we're going to see who can get the pick here, and it's very, very calculated here. No team is taking any big risks. No, not going for the Uber exchanges. They're just waiting for an advantage to play off of. Wonder taking a lot of spam. They're just rotating between Big Door and Choke, just trying to find the space, seeing what he can get. You see Tomba there is actually, we're going to see a bit of a sniper on sniper action here as they're just kind of, they just both decide against it without even peeking and rotate over to Choke. So this is just kind of mind games going on, just seeing what they can do. Whichever player can kind of open the door and get a pick, maybe that'll trigger a bit of movement in through one of these chokes. But yeah, I mean, like I said, they're not taking very many risks here. I'm not sure whose map pick it is. I can go and find out on ETF2L in a second. But
it's not on the match page.
Is it on the match page? Also, I have no idea. We got Gullywash, Process, and Snake tonight, and Tomba there does win the sniper battle against Wonder. So that's kind of one point over to Finland now. And Tomba trying to go for some more, gets spammed out by Bednar though. And can they get the frag onto Rad?
Wow, he gets saved by his team there. So some really good teamwork here for Finland, who's saving their sniper in that really poor situation. And it looks like they're going to go for the exchange right now. Bednar kind of jumps out of it. But here we go. A slightly longer Uber here from Poland, and they actually juggled the medic up completely. So Cawthon gets caught in and taken down. But this is now looking pretty good for Poland here, as long as they just don't lose their medic or bleed too many players in this following push.
Yeah, both Zub and Tonmis kind of went up into river. Zub getting cleaned up by Rad now. And Thomas very weak, had to back off to mid. But like you said, Cawthorn got juggled in there, and both the soldiers were in river, so they could have made a play if they'd gone in together. But Zoob jumped in, landed a rocket onto Grabber, who's safe in lobby, couldn't take any more damage. And I don't know, Finland just seemed very, very scattered there. They used the Uber earlier, had a worse Uber than Poland, and I don't know, they just didn't seem to have some sort of direction of what to do. So Poland now with the Uber advantage, and Finland playing quite passive. Maybe they're expecting to push in through choke.
Yeah, it's not a very big Uber advantage, but it's definitely something you can push on. And like as soon as Poland realized that nobody's in choke, they can just walk in, right? But I don't think they've actually realized yet. They're actually rotating into big door, and now they're just looking here and going, oh wait, they're all there. And both gets taken down by a classic sticky trap here by EQ. So that will be the end of that push. Tomba actually goes down to some random spam. So that could make the counter push a little bit dicey for them, but that was a really important sticky trap there coming up from EQ.
Yeah, it was huge. It kind of makes a difference then. It saves it a little bit. Now we're in an equal Uber situation, and in comes the force onto Grabber, and he is going to use that Uber slightly earlier than Cawthorn. But Tonmas gets dropped, and so does Hank. And look at Cawthorn, he's getting juggled again, and they're just going to get melted as the scouts come in.
And still gets taken down. So complete disaster coming out from the Finnish team. Like dropping people doing Uber like that will really bite you in the ass. And here we go, one lone heavy and maybe two other spawners. It's gonna try to hold off this push. Don't keep on to the point. Great push here, just right.
Yeah, they just kind of focus the point there, and that times four before managed to get out of the spawns. Surprise! Here it is. Polish just
You're a robot. But either way, we haven't. I'm moving really.
Alert! The control point is being captured. Alert has been our control point is being captured. We have captured the control point.
I'm live. I'm live and alone. John says I'm live, and Beta is on his way. So he should be here without robot voices, which is good because we invested lots of money in the robot voice changer. We thought you guys would like it on stream, but apparently not. But it doesn't matter. Here we are, and Finland just dominating that mid-fight there. Only 2 players going down, but only 2 players surviving for Poland, that is. But most importantly, one of those was Grabber. So he is back at last with 100%. In comes Zoom. Can he land the second rocket? He does, and he drops Grabber. +2s in chat, please, guys. As Grabber gives us the first drop of this series, and that means Cawthorn is going to have 100%. He's going to have this huge Uber advantage. He's going to wait for Zoob to spawn. He's going to get in time. Bednar now on the sniper, maybe trying to just stop that medic from using his Uber. If he can kill him in time. We've got a bit of Highlander going on here. As we've got Rad on the heavy. We've got a sentry from Rad. As he's got the dispenser up, and heavy being pulled out by Wonder. So we've got 6v6, but one of each class for Poland. They're just trying to stall this out. We'll have to see what's going on as Grabber pulls out his signature vaccinator. Is it going to be any of use? The sentry is just throwing the Finnish players all over the place. They can't get any damage. And 2 players go down. It's Thomas and Hank. Cawthorn gets picked off there by the Tomislav. And the only player to go down there was the engineer, even though his sentry survived. And once again, we're seeing the effectiveness of the vaccinator on last, especially when you've got, a heavy and a sentry and everything like that. It just seems to be working out. But Beta has joined us. Are you with us?
Yeah, I'm alive. I guess that
good.
was a mumble dying. Sorry about that, everyone. But it should be fixed now, as we saw Poland there with the classic Grabber plays. That seems to happen a lot. The Grabber just goes vaccinator and wins the round.
I mean, it's something. I remember the first time I used Vaccinator in sixes, and we had this high official, and a team came in with crits. We weren't going to have Uber in time, so I went Vaccinator, blast resistance, and it worked. But I never really thought about using it as just a default, last holding minigun. And it seems this season especially, it's really come to the fore as a really viable medigun, especially when you're holding last in a clutch situation. But we do see Grabber is just about to get his Uber, only slightly ahead of Cawthon. And Grabber did survive, but he went back to the spawn to change from the Vaccinator onto the medigun. So that's why we've seen not a huge Uber advantage coming out of Poland here. Finland probably be aware of that. They're smart enough, and we're kind of back to a stalemate now, with Finland in control of the midpoint once again. And I don't know, I mean, it didn't work out well for them last time, Peter. They kind of lost mid, and it just kind of rolled on from there. And I think Poland are just going to be pretty comfortable to just sit back and wait.
They've actually sent a scout behind here, so Tomba's behind lines, like fighting Rad. So if he can just cause enough of a distraction, maybe this can work. It's definitely a new approach, and he actually has Rad very weak, but eventually gets taken down. I really like doing these kind of small plays. It's not quite a suicide play, but it's a different kind of play. So they just sent a scout in behind, bullied people in big door, and then sent a scout behind. And it didn't really work out this time, but pretty creative and good way to just do a different kind of play other than just sending in Sub over and over again. Now Tomba's back on Sniper.
Yeah, I mean, the pressure starts to come onto the Finns now where, we've gone through 12 minutes already. It doesn't seem like 12 minutes, Peter, but, we're coming sort of well over a third of this map, gone. And you start, when the minutes start ticking down, nothing going on, you're sending a soldier in, you have to wait for him to respawn. That takes, 30 seconds to a minute for that whole entire process to complete. Poland can just wait. Grabber's going to surf a rocket, his team's going to shoot at whoever's going to come in. They don't need to push, they just need to wait. They need to, and in comes Zub again, lands half a rocket, gets absolutely mulched in the air. And it did create some space for Tomba, but I don't think he even took a shot. So, we're just kind of waiting for. Oh no, the Uber comes in from Poland.
Oh yeah, they're tired of waiting here, so they go in and they actually just pick up Tomba right away. So just already a really good Uber exchange here for the Poles. So right now there's a soldier in lower valley here, and Thomas actually goes down to some nice pistols from both the scouts, and just a very clean repush here from the Poles. Just cutting off Finland when they least expected it and just catching them out.
Yeah, I mean, something Poland have done is that when... Oh, sorry, Zub's in! He gets destroyed, though. Keski does go down, ends up cratering because of that Zub bomb, but most importantly, Grabber does stay alive. Iku might actually get caught out here, gets finished off by Wonder, and this is a problem. If Finland start losing these players, they're not going to have enough players left to survive on last. They're only 3 up. Zub has respawned, but there's no off classes just yet. Still double scout running on last. And I don't know, it's something I've seen Poland do when they're getting kind of this exchange and Finland are deciding to get out of there. Poland chase so hard and they're just sending their demo, their soldier, their scouts just straight into there. They're not caring about the cap and they're getting like the extra picks, which has allowed them to roll on to the next point. And the Uber comes in really, really early here. Rad using it to try and get that force onto Cawthon, which he does. And the Polish player is actually wisely backing out and probably looking to get some sort of repush here, but not much damage done. And Wonder on the heavy, Peter. Wonder on the offensive heavy.
Yeah, heavy is pretty good when you do these kind of repushes. Now he's found a soldier. Sub survives jumping the heavy. It's usually a bad idea, but Bednar jumps in and gets Cawthon down. So it's looking like bad in the push kind of sense for Poland. And they're definitely going to lose second here, but their medic did survive, and now they have an Uber advantage to hold mid, unless Finland are really, really fast here. So, going with the heavy, going for just the normal exchange, all pretty good stuff, I think. It didn't quite work out, but they got the medic down, so I think they're pretty happy with themselves.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not quite sure about the decision to just kind of re-push straight away. I think the heavy really works when pushing gully last, when you do something like pushing in with Uber and then straight away when the Uber's faded go in with a 450 heavy just to kind of gun people down and take that attention while everyone else gets the frags. So maybe kind of the right idea from Poland, just not the right execution. But like you said, Grabber with that Uber advantage, he's at 100%, and they're starting to work through big door here, and Finland are going to be careful. They're going to get caught out here, and they're going to get sandwiched in the choke. Cawthon is so weak, gets finished off, and as does Iku and Thomas. And both the scouts, Hank and Tomba, are here. They're trying to DM it, but they might just lose this out. They're trying to get onto Grabber. Tomba's chasing, he's trying to pistol him down. Grabber picks up the health back. He's running the amputator.
Wow, and Grabber gets the last one.
Wow. With the arrows, and Poland, don't know, they're just looking stronger. And I don't know, Finland just getting caught out there just seemed like a really big mistake. And surely somebody should have spotted that, Beta.
Yeah, it's really poor positioning. You know, they should have reacted to the Polish push way faster. It was a good push by Poland, but it probably shouldn't have been as effective as it was. You know, Coughlin getting caught in their own choke. They were trying to do like a wraparound, but there was just a soldier standing behind, just shooting the ground and completely mulching everything. That didn't work out. So once again, Poland is left with a small Uber advantage. They're going to have to push into a heavy and a pyro. So this is always difficult, and Gollywash last is pretty notorious for being pretty hard to push here. There we go. The pyro right away gets like 4 amazing reflex there. Takes down Wonder, and I think that's going to be enough to just completely stifle this push.
Yeah, Tonmas there picking up Rad as well, and Bednar coming in, and they're just sending player after player, and they do get the force. The only person to stay alive though is Grabber, and he is long gone, straight at the respawn just to catch up with Wonder. So Finland should be able to capture this second point. Cawthon just spawning, and if he gets healing soon, which he is, he's basically going to have equal Ubers with Grabber. So that's pretty decent. Zoob's still an engineer, just waiting on last. Does change back to the soldier. So Finland, you know, we're kind of back at this situation now where a team's in control at mid. They're getting spam and lots of damage going down. And Finland are looking like they want to dry push this, changing their mind as Zika takes too much spam. And doesn't really have the angle to get any damage on the poles. So equal Ubers, Beta, a team holding mid, and again the pressure is on Finland. They need to do something. They need to make something happen here.
Yeah, it's still 13 minutes left, so you know it's not too much pressure. Like a lot of things can happen. Then you know you have at least 10 minutes, then the round would reset, and there'd be 3 minutes left. So okay, like so that kind of pressure is not too great right now, but it's definitely something that's just in the back of your mind where, you know, like, you're not just waiting for them to do anything, because normally in this situation you're just waiting for the team that holds mid to send in a suicider, but in this case maybe Poland just doesn't do it. You know, they just sit around and just play together and play it safe and just like stay content with having a 1-0 lead. So it might just be a matter of, can Finland find some way to maybe send in a suicide themselves, or do a wraparound, or put some pressure on into the flank. It's pretty difficult pushing from second to mid here because of the high ground.
Yeah, I mean, I'm probably coming from this like sort of opportunity. You can always know how frustrating it is, you know, to be in Finland's situation, knowing you're 1-0 down, and knowing that the other team isn't going to send in that Roma bomb. They're not going to do anything silly. They have, you know, the onus is on Finland to do something, and that can be quite frustrating because you need something to happen. And you know, I like being in the Polish position here. It's something my team does quite a lot, and it looks like Finland's actually just coming in here. They use the Uber onto Tonmas, trying to get the damage done. They get enough damage onto Wonshu, who's actually going to have the Uber used onto him, but it is going to be singled, and once again, someone is going to get caught out if they're not careful. Wonder is chasing down Cawthon, lands a meat shot, but can't actually get any more, and it is actually Finland who are going to start melting the players away. Rad is so weak, gets away on about 10 HP there, but only Zoob is the only casualty there. And Finland are actually going to be quite successful with that push, and they're going to roll this forward. And with 3 players down, just respawning, they are going to get forward spawns, Beta, so that's probably going to stop the Finns from advancing any further. But that was pretty decent, just kind of solo Ubering Thomas in there. And I don't know, maybe the Poles got a little bit baited there. They tried to get a bit too aggressive.
Yeah, it's just lack of discipline, I think. You know, they did the thing that they didn't need to do, which was to push in and try to get all these kills, and they didn't need to. They could just hold mid, right? Because then things would just reset and nothing has changed, except the 2 Ubers are gone. Instead, they tried to go in and get the kills, because they did a pretty good job of juggling in Tonmas, but he did barely get out, and then he just baited everyone in, and it was a good push. And now it's the opposite situation, but Bednar has gone down, and Finland, they want to push. They don't want to hold, so they are pushing big door here, and Tomba and the demo, they're all just pushing in here. And
Iku gets dropped. I mean, he was far too aggressive there, and he got juggled in by the stickies. But the demo down probably means this is not going to turn out well for Finland. Cawthon is he kind of semi-surfs that away there. So he probably will survive as he tries to back out through big door, but 3 players down now for Finland. Poland, Zoob comes in! Lands 1 rocket, can't get the second onto Grabber, and gets cleaned up in the end, and Poland are already on second. They're just trapping off the forward spawn. And surely Wonshu should go down here. Nice pipe from Iku, who makes up for his earlier mistake. But Finland on last. And again, I don't think Poland are going to want to push. Like I was saying, being in the position, my team is great at just grinding out the results by, switching to off classes, having that pyro, that heavy. I wouldn't be surprised if we see, there we go, sniper, one shoot, just to kind of stalemate this out and make it frustrating for the enemy team, knowing that, you're in the lead. You don't have to do anything. You have to make the enemy team push, and this is a horrible position.
Yeah, Super actually went out there, tried to maybe get the medic, ends up getting Rad instead. You'll take it, right? And now they might just push on off of this. Yeah, so here we go. Just a single Uber into lobby here, and the demo is so weak. Can't believe the demo didn't get Ubered or die. I thought for sure one of those things were going to happen, but Grabber's just out. He saved his Uber completely, and now this is a great opportunity for Poland to just completely punish the Finnish aggression.
They're quite far back though. Look where Grabber is. He's like he was in his own choke, and he's just back at mid now. So Poland can push in if they want to, but Finland are playing it smart. They're back in lobby. They've got the cap, but they know they have an Uber disadvantage. Zub is actually hiding on top there. That's such a common spot. Didn't get checked and survives, and he's going to be in choke. So he's going to be behind.
Gonna pop into the faces here. Thomas are going to go down for sure, but that will be the only casualty, so not quite a worthwhile Uber. There's actually time on the board.
Kiski! Kiski just walks onto the point and just covers it with stickies. And then the Finns, by the time they realised, walked onto the point and just saw a bunch of sticky bombs lying on the floor. And Bednar with the cheeky XD in the chat there realises the hilarity of the situation for the Poles, but it is not hilarious, Peter, for the Finns, because they are 2-0 down.
That was
just under 8 minutes to go.
Yeah, that was a really crucial round, and it feels bad in the way it ended. It's just not normal. So Tonmas getting caught out here by the demo, getting stickied up, but actually, look at Sub! What a bomb! Take down 3 players in like no time at all, and then finish it off with a 4th one. So Sub going absolutely huge on that mid for sure. 4K, easy peasy, and Ikus all the way forward here. I think he's gonna get to sticky spawn.
Yeah, there you go. He's there, and he's actually got he's not actually got it on the doors. He's got it on the wall. So in comes one shoot. They look. Oh, he takes Keski down. It's an even better pick as he takes down the demo, and that's surely just going to open it up here for them to walk into last. No sticky traps for 10 seconds to worry about. And Finland, they're in the right gear now. They know what they need to do.
Yeah, like you just go Shutter here, right? Like there's no stickies or anything, so you just go through Shutter. And then it should be easy. There's still a sniper. Bednar could pick off the medic or someone else. So that's a danger area. And Graba's getting dangerously close to having his own Uber. So if Finland are not fast enough here, they need to go, and they're not going. They're too slow.
He's running. He's running Vaccinator. That's why he's got 100%. He's got the 4 mini charges. We'll see how it. Look, one shoot's getting focused, but he's got the blast resistance. He's taking no damage. Thomas does take down the sentry. Thomas just gone onto the point. Times 3 on the point. It's going to bait all the Poles down there, and they're going to take so much damage. Hank comes in there to take down Keski. So no demo man. Zub is on the point. He's just going to shoot rockets. 2 players left alive for Poland. It's one shoot versus Zub on the point. MGE, Gully Wash last.
Oh, the medic behind.
Come in.
Oh.
He sacrifices his life, Peter. He sacrifices his life just to take the rocket to the face. He gets the kill. And that means 2-1 now to Poland. And the deficit has been halved. And well, I don't know. Is Zub going to go huge again this time?
Well, I'm definitely going to be watching him. Just for good measure. He got a 4K, and now he just won the round for his team with some help. But he got the glory. He got the cap. That's all that matters. So he's just going to be fighting a soldier underneath to begin with, before trying to make a jump. And I think no, still hasn't jumped. He's just biding his time. And Finland in general are just being slow. And here we go. Soup finally jumping in. Poland have pretty much just backed out through choke. So that was a very passive mid from both teams, and that apparently favors Finland as they take this mid.
Yeah, it was the delayed jumps there from Zub and Thomas. Zub got a lot of damage down, and Thomas getting the kill onto, I believe it was Bednar, and that was enough just to have them kind of backed out into the choke there. Grabber has his Uber. Cawthon just narrowly behind. It's nothing too major. So we're kind of at a different stalemate now, where Finland, they want to push last. They are behind still. And they know that Poland have their Uber, and they're going to be expecting some off classes. Sorry, we have a Wonder on the heavy. If you're Finland and you've got 5 minutes to go, do Do you go now, or are you just kind of going to play it patient and try to get a pick? I mean,
Well, I would just go in. I would just exchange and then go out and hope that Poland does what they did before, where they overextend. But instead, they've actually opted to go for the sniper. So there's a sniper in main. Actually, a heavy eats the body shot there. So a heavy loses like 30% of his overall health, and now the sniper gets taken down. So that's actually really annoying if you're Finland. Now there's 4.5 minutes left. The clock is ticking. It's going to keep on ticking, and every time you lose a player like this, it's just more time wasted. And if they don't get around quick, they're going to have to like settle for a golden cap at the most. So we'll see. We actually see a spy again, so it looks like they're just content to play it slow.
yeah, I mean, they won that opening. It's been very difficult as Rad does get the headshot onto Tonmas. And we see the Poles, they're not adverse to changing their classes. We have no scouts on the field. We have Rad on the sniper, Wonder on the heavy. Rad was playing Pyro, 30 seconds ago, so they are kind of just switching things up. If they're expecting that bomb, having a heavy and a Pyro there is very, very difficult to get onto the medic when you've got something that can air blast your rockets away and something that is basically a 450 HP anti-aircraft gun. But Tombo is cloaked. He is stood on the point. So I'm not sure what he's planning, whether he's going to make a play for the medic, whether he's going to try and, get some time on the point, because there's no stickies there, Beta. So maybe he's going to just try to bait them towards the point. I mean, I don't know.
Like, you can definitely, now they even have a pixel, right? So what you can do is you can uncloak on the point and then just get everyone to look down there and then maybe send in Suicider. But he did it kind of late. That was weird. He did it way too late there. So, but it's still a pretty good fight here for Finland. They're 4 against 3. One of them is a medic. A medic is not very good in these kind of small fights. And look at that, some nice pipes from Iku. I think that's going to settle it. And yeah, there we go. So not the prettiest of pushes, but eventually Finland gets it, and it makes it 2-2 with 3 minutes to go. So this is anyone's game.
Absolutely. Hank, I think, won it there. The repush, there was a heavy and a demo to face with. Hank, he held the W down pretty well. He just charged into the demo man's face, took him down, and that just allowed everyone else to just collapse on the point. So we are on to our 5th mid-fight here. Bednar goes for the jump and decides to go down drop down, so Iki's got to be careful here. I'm not sure if he's aware that there's a soldier there. He does actually get taken down, but Tonmas jumps in. Huge rockets from the other Finnish soldier. Takes down Grabber and Wonder. So heals in, I was going to say in the hands of the Finns, but no. Cawthon goes down to one shoe. So pretty even so far, but it's just Tomba left alive. It is a wipe now for Finland, but Rad and Bednar, the two survivors, very, very weak. Just about 100 HP split between them. They're going to win the mid-fight, but I'm not sure if they're going to be able to push much further.
Yeah,
they're just going to have to settle for this.
Yeah, this is just a mid-fight and then nothing else. Like both of these players have to pretty much go back and get more health before they can even think about doing anything else. So, an easy mid-hit to hold. And now we actually see Tonmas going spy. I like this play. Or is he actually just taking things in spawn? Yeah, he is. Okay. But I would actually, honestly, legitimately like to see a spy in this case. But Poland are actually pushing in really aggressively, and Finland has just kind of given them space here. And I don't like this from Finland at all.
It's crits. It's crits from Grabber. He's at 90% already. And maybe that's what Thomas was checking to see if it was the crits. And Tomba has actually off-classed a Pyro. So I'm pretty sure, I'm 99% sure that the Finns know that this is crits coming. That's why Tomba has got the Pyro. And once you just get up, jump in Bender. Oh, look how Cawthon goes down. He gets kind of mini air shot there, and Finland are 2 players left alive. It's just Hank and Iku, but it's just Grabber.
The point is, wow.
Grabber survives. He is out of there, but what the hell happened there, Beta?
I don't know. I legitimately don't know. The crit streak seemed to be so good, and Keski did so much work, but the 2 scouts from Finland just hit so many shots and just barely managed to get the demo there. Like, they were about to run into the stickies out of desperation, but their pistol just took him down just in time. Because they had a demo man with a pain train and stickies on the point, so that's a very scary situation. But Grabber gets out of there alive. He has the crit streak, so now Finland, of course, knows. And there's about 30 seconds left, so
he's actually changed back to minigun.
Oh,
he's gone back. Obviously one of his teammates has held open the door, and he switched back to medigun. So maybe that's going to confuse Finland a little bit, but I don't think they're going to care too much. They pick up Wonder and Keski, so that's actually 4 players down. 15 seconds. I don't know why they've done that. They've wiped now. I don't know. They could have got the Uber there, surely, and gone in.
Yeah, I'm kind of surprised it didn't go for a vaccinator. Seems like a very obvious vaccinator situation. you don't have very much time to push. You have like a small time to build an Uber. Get two vaccinated chargers, get in for free, and then it's an even fight. You have a fighting chance, but instead he goes for the normal Uber, which builds slower. So I didn't like that decision making at all. But,
surely just stay on the crits. I mean, sure, Finland would be aware about it, and you're trying to mind game them to switch back onto Uber, but when you've got a minute left, just go for the crits, or like you said, go for the vaccinator. Just do something. If you're gonna dry push it anyway, you might as well dry push it with a couple of bubbles. Seemed a very, very odd decision there. I still think they could have got the Uber just in time, and gone for the exchange. But I suppose Finland would also have had the Uber, so it made them harder for them. But yeah, 2-2. I mean, is that the kind of result we were expecting?
It's not too far out of the norm of what I expected. I thought it would be pretty close. I probably favored Finland a little bit, but it's actually Poland that's been in the driver's seat, so I guess that surprises me. Oh, very interesting game, and it's a very fun game. I think you can't tell that one team has been getting lucky and one team is just barely scraping by. It's very even. So a great match so far, and let's look at some logs.
Yeah, I mean, it's actually Wonder who top fragged there with 18. A low fragging game. We did see a lot of stalemates, to be fair. So, not expecting that much damage. The DPMs, nobody got over 300. Very kind of low damaging, low fragging game. But Wonder with the 18, and then the two Finnish soldiers who I think were just doing so much work. Zub and Honmus getting 17 apiece. And Niku just there, just behind. He managed to top damage with just 285. So, I mean, pretty even across the board. I mean, so sure, 3 of the top 4 are Finnish players, but it's pretty equally spread. There was 5 kills in it. 74 kills for Finland and 69 for Poland. So more damage coming out of Finland. Nearly about 3,000 damage difference, but. I suppose they just got the better of the Uber versus Uber exchanges. I think that's what we saw them go to 2-0 lead.
Look at the Uber charges. There's 12 Uber charges for Finland and 18 for Poland, and I don't think there was that many vaccinator charges to account for it. Actually, there is. Never mind. That's the entire difference. I'm dumb.
Well, I mean, no. I mean, when you consider it, 12 minigun to 10 for Grabber. And then, he had 1 Kritzkrieg, which you could say is about equal. And if he wasn't running the vaccinator, he would have got 1 or 2 more charges from Medigun or whatever. So, maybe there. I don't know. He did get that 1 drop. But I think the big things here, you just look at the deaths within 20 seconds after Uber. Grabber just had 1, whereas Cawthorn had 4. And there just seemed to be quite a lot of moments where there wasn't an exchange going on, and Poland always managed to just flood forward, pick up Iku, pick up Cawthorn, and without those two, it's very hard to hold a choke. You haven't got your heals, you haven't got your Demi-Man laying down the traps, and that allowed Poland just kind of to get that momentum. And if they won an exchange on mid, they wouldn't just cap mid; they'd also cap the next point as well. So, maybe that's something Finland need to kind of, if they realise it's all about to hit the fan, just to get out of there and cut their losses.
Yeah, you can see that Grabber died a whole lot less. He only died 6 times. So, obviously you get low depths when you're dealing with a slow game like this with a lot of stalemates. But, there's more to it. Like, he also did a great job of just staying alive and having good positioning. And Finland definitely had some very poor positioning from time to time. So, I feel like Finland might actually have had better overall team DM, but just sometimes they were just out of position and didn't count Ubers properly, and they got caught out, and that's actually how they lost some rounds despite actually doing more damage. Which is kind of the opposite of what I expected. I expected Poland to be kind of DM donkeys and just go forward and just bull rush them, and then Finland would actually be more coordinated. And it's actually been the other way around, so that's very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, like we said at the start of the cast, Poland have kind of this community of players that have played together for a long time. They've been around in the TF2 scene for a while. They've been playing together in these teams that have always been around near the top. And the same goes for the Finns. So it kind of surprises me that they've been making mistakes like that. When you consider Zub and Tonmas and Hank, who've played really at the highest possible level. Ik obviously has played well this season in Prem. So it's surprising, man. The one that stands out for me was when they got caught out in choke when Poland just walked through big door with a huge Uber advantage. Like, why didn't Finland realize that? You know, these players should. But it does look like we are not live because people are complaining about settings. So I think we're having an actual countdown now. So we are onto a golden cap, which is first to one, no time limit.
Yeah, I'm not on the server right now, so I can't see anything. I got
That's
kicked
fine.
off.
That's fine. So yeah, we've gone live for the golden cap. So,
Oh, okay, I'm back. I am here. Okay. Thank God. I just got kicked off for no reason. But looks like Finland in the driver's seat right now, getting the first kill here. And so far, they're just rushing up top here, but Onchu actually takes down Coughlin right away. So this is kind of pushing into the favor of Poland, but still a very messy mid. As Thomas jumps in onto the medic and actually gets grabber. Great job by him. So now this is one scout here in elbow, and he gets taken down.
I think the big thing there was Hank staying alive. You know, when he's alive at the end of the fight, he's just cleaning up. You know, look, 4K on this mid.
Yeah.
You know, he's 24 HP. He was the first person to die on this map today. You know, and Poland won that mid fight. But when he stayed alive at the end there, you know, playing off the damage, Zub and Thomas with the huge bombs, and Hank just getting the frags. So big win there for Finland. But they don't have that much of an Uber advantage as both medics went down. But Coughlin did die earlier, so he has about 20%. So Finland built this really, really well. They may be able to push this all the way into last. So they are building on the scout. So I'm not sure whether they know this or not. And Poland are trying to counter build, and they have got a level 2 and they've got a sniper. So kind of the Polish Highlander team coming out again.
Yeah, and with this setup, it's very easy for the medic to just retreat into spawn and then be able to get the Uber in time and not allow the Finnish team to actually get onto the point. But Finnish team definitely in the driver's seat. They're just going to go straight in here. This is forcing out the Uber right away and then getting out. And, you know, this is where Poland was overextending before. Let's see if they make the same mistake again. So far, they haven't fallen for it. Betnar actually almost catches out Soup, but Soup gets out alive. So that was just basically an exchange of Ubers. And now Coughlin actually has a small Uber advantage. You know, if you get a better Uber in an Uber exchange and no medic die, you actually have an Uber disadvantage following up as the Thomas goes down. But it's still going to be a while before Ubers come into play.
Yeah, we see Finland they're in control now. They, you know, the tie is leveled. You know, it's 2-2. It's golden cap. Finland just need to get this cap, and they can just work around and do what they want. And you know, they haven't got any off classes, which surprises me. You know, they can afford to maybe run a spy. You know, there's only you know one scout. There's Wonder, and he's been switching on and off of heavy. You know, with an engineer as well, Poland aren't in the best position to be able to push out. So if you send in a spy or a sniper or something like that, and they do die, Poland aren't going to be able to push out 5v6 very efficiently. So, you know, Finland can afford to take these chances, get a little bit risky with some of their plays. And we do see Hank changing over to the sniper now. So I was wrong. They are going to start taking these risks, and we'll see if Hank can do anything here. Although he does takes 2 rockets and dies.
Yeah, he did something there for a whole 1.5 seconds, and then he died. So he tried to go for a big body shot, I suppose, but no luck. Finland, of course, they have plenty of time. You can currently see the server time left says 30 minutes, or like 25. It's actually infinite. There is no time limit at all. So at most, you'll see that the round restart after like 8 and 9 minutes here. But he's gone spy, so you get your wish.
Oh yeah, that's what I want to see. Actually, just to say, Beta, you know, it's 7 minutes and 35 seconds left on the round timer, and you can't see that on this HUD, designed by Vhoofd. For the use of BlackOut Gaming TV, but you can actually see by the circle, you know, the number, the highlighted circle around the timer, that is the round time left. So it's ticking away, about 3/4 gone, or sorry, 3/4 left, but Hank did get caught out there. I'm not sure who he bumped, or whether, you know, someone has a little bit of an aim assist. Wallhack could see that there was a spy. Now I'm sure he just bumped something and you get caught out there. So Hank down, and I don't know, just go spy again. Just try it again. They're not going to expect it. What's the worst that could happen? You know, you don't get a backstab. But yeah, I'm just maybe time to see Finland trying that heavy push that we were talking about earlier.
Yeah, you know, like double spy is always an opportunity. Like, who does that, right? So that can work. You could also do the classic uncloak on point, and then you just use this as a distraction for when a soldier jumps in and suicides. Right, so it's kind of like doing a double soldier suicide, except the spy is literally
Oh,
just
look at
a
Hank.
distraction.
He's a scout, but he's gone into water. I don't think he got spotted.
There's still
no,
a
he's gone
sentry
back.
watching the water, though.
Yeah.
And the spy knows that. Or like Hank spotted that last time.
Tomba's on sniper this time, so maybe he feels he can do a better job than Hank did. I can't actually find where Tomba is.
He's in Riverside, and he actually hits a big body shot onto a soldier there. Wonder almost dying there, but not going to get it. They do get the sentry, though, so now they can do a push if they really want to. It's really dumb to actually do a push here, but never mind. Soup actually jumps in here. He's onto the point. Went for the kind of the pseudo-suicide here. Is he actually going to get out of that?
He actually gets out. Oh, no, he doesn't.
Ah.
Jinxed it. Curse of the caster there. He was 17 HP and he almost got out there. If it wasn't for Bednar just kind of looking around at the right time, he would have survived. But this is, what do they lose from that? Nothing. Zoob goes in, makes a play. Best case scenario, he baits people down and they get picked off by Tomba. He's trying to get the players into a position to get the headshot. If he can get a headshot onto the heavy, that's huge. That's 450 HP off the field straight away. And I think Poland have realised the tactics that Finland are playing right now, and Wanda switched off onto sniper, so no heavy to deal with, but there is the counter snipes going on. But yeah, Finland doing exactly what they should be doing, just kind of taking their time, just looking for the big opening that they need, because worst case scenario they get wiped and Poland would push out, and they could kind of cascade and barrel over the points like they were doing earlier in the regulation time, and put Finland in this position and defending on their last. So Tomba there does take down the heavy, so that's the opening that they're waiting for.
Yeah, and let's see. We actually have a soldier in also. I think he's going to get taken down. Soup. I don't know how Soup never dies. It's kind of crazy, actually. It's like Soup suicided in. Now there's time on the point. What?
How does he do that? He just walks in through a river. The engineer only had, was it Rad on engineer? He had a level 1 sentry when Wanda went down. And instead of just kind of changing and leveling it up, he just went into spawn, so there was no sentry to deal with anymore. Hank just walks through river, uncontested, stands in water, walks onto the point, and Grabber doesn't even use his Uber. He just kind of, the Poles had no idea what hit them there, so Hank has literally just one-handedly won his team the game there, wins the mid-fight with 4k, and then just walks on to last, uncontested, to win it. So Finland, by a golden cap, are going to take the first map beater 3-2.
Yeah.
And,
worst part is, his stats are going to look terrible, because he between doing those really great things, he suicided like 7 times, So it's all for naught.
He's the only fragging class though that got double figures on points. So
yeah, okay.
He's going to be chuffed with himself. But we are going to move on to process now. But I mean, did you expect that to be that close? I mean, that may well have been Poland's pick. We don't know. It's not written on the match page. But Finland widely expected to be a team that could surprise a few teams, if you know what I mean. One of the teams that kind of might cause trouble for the big names like Denmark and England and Germany, etc. But did you expect them to kind of labour through that first map like that?
As I said earlier, it was way closer than I thought. If I was to give out sort of the result earlier, I'd probably rate this as pretty okay likely scenario, but I don't know, I still feel like the way it all played out was kind of unexpected. So yeah, Finland gets it, but they had to work really hard for it. And let's see, Hank actually only got 4 kills, so it was just on that on that mid fight, and then he got the really crucial cap.
Yeah, it's actually quite funny. The only kills he got during that game was during that 20-second mid fight. So getting pretty much, it's half his team kills. His team got 8 kills, he got 4 of them. Wanzu actually got the most with 5 kills and only the 1 death. So rocking it pretty hard with a ton of damage as well. But
Did Hank
not
only
enough.
die twice? That sounds wrong. Didn't he suicide like 1,000,000 times?
Well, he went spy and got caught out, and he went sniper and died from that. But I think that was it, really, actually.
Wow.
Because when he changed to sniper, it was because Thomas held the door open for him. So, it was only the 2 deaths for him. And you look at Iggy there, didn't die. Both mids obviously died during the mid fight. But yeah, pretty much, Finland winning the mid fight and just playing the slow game, just making sure they got that huge advantage, and taking down that heavy and just opening the door meant that they can take this first map. So they're going to be probably trying to want to put Gully Wash out of their mind now. Probably didn't go the way that they wanted to, but definitely a little bit more hype running through their veins right now. And Poland probably feeling a little bit sorry for themselves. I mean, to be 2-0 up and get pegged back and then to lose it in the Golden Cap, that's one of the worst ways to lose it, I think, because you feel it was close, and then just to lose it by, especially in the fashion, a scout just walking onto the point, that's going to be really disheartening for them. But I mean, Process, do you think it's going to be a different game for them?
Well, yeah, this should be a very different game. Normally, I'd say this really favors Finland because of their better scouts, but their scouts aren't actually that much better this time around. I actually almost feel like the Polish scouts have been doing better. Not quite, but just Wonder and Rad. It seems like they've been doing pretty well. Or Tomba, sorry. So, this is a pretty bad map for soldiers, and Gollywash is a very good map for soldiers. So it's kind of the opposite dynamic we're about to see here. So that was some cool sync jumps in early game. I'm getting distracted, but either way, it should be a very different game. These two maps are basically as different as they come, like maybe besides like Snake Water or something. But the soldiers are usually absolutely awful on this map, and then on Gollywash they do way better.
Yeah, and I mean, Process, Gollywash is a sniper-friendly map, but Process has, pretty long sight lines as well. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see either of the teams rocking the sniper. We've seen, Wonder and Hank and Tomba off-classing to the sniper at some point during Gollywash. So maybe we're going to be seeing a little bit more of that in this game. But I kind of agree. I mean, the teams, they look extremely even, and I think Poland are getting the better of the Uber exchanges. I'm not sure whether the way that they were getting the advantages in the post-Uber fights is going to work here, but it remains to be seen if that's going to be as effective. But definitely I think the scouts are going to play a big part in it, and we're going to have to see Hank and Tomba versus Rad and Wonder. Both teams missing, one of their big scouts, Doom missing for Poland, Ast missing for Finland. How much is that going to affect kind of the coordination on this map? But yeah, I mean, if Finland win this, they are going through to the quarterfinals. And Poland will be saying goodbye for another, 2 years?
Yeah, this is where you really wish you'd looked up how you say goodbye in Polish, before the cast, and actually been prepared.
I don't have to say goodnight.
Oh, how do you say that?
You say dobry nacht. Something like that, yeah. I used to go out with a Polish girl, so I remember good morning and good night. That's about it.
Okay. All right.
I'm trying to look at here we go. They've got the playoff stage here. We've got the brackets. So to kind of, as we're waiting for players to, get into the server, currently the quarterfinal teams confirmed are England, Denmark, Czech Republic, and Germany. So the winner of this game will go on to play Germany in the quarterfinal, which I think whichever team, like Poland have obviously had their shot at Germany in the group stage and they lost both maps. But I do think it may be a different scenario in the knockout stage, because obviously you get to pick your maps. In the group stage, you get told, right, you're playing this country and you're playing these two maps, and maybe if Poland have a choice in their maps, it could be a different story. But that should make for an interesting next round game. And we are live now, so we got Finland once again in the blue. Which they got blue on their flag, so that helps. And Poland have got red on their flag, so they're red. But they're asking for a restart. So
oh well, I actually kind of hope that Poland wins this, just because it seems kind of fitting that Germany first beats down the Netherlands and then they beat down Poland. The two neighbors, the two big neighbors. So that seems kind of fitting. So I'm cheering for Poland for that reason alone. All right, nothing to do with the players on the teams, just history. And irony.
Of course.
Just these neighbor, but like you always want to see like Portugal versus Spain and Denmark versus Sweden. Like those matches are always the most fun because of all the historical rivalry going on. So the banter is just out of this world. Way more entertaining.
People correcting my Polish. I mean, you can tell by my accent, Peter, that I'm a fluent Polish speaker. I don't like to be corrected by the chat. I mean, I'm trying my best here, but we got a kind of like a pre-game pause, which is always fun.
Yeah, Well, at least it's in pre-game, right? So there's nothing that's being interrupted as such. So we can just keep on doing whatever we were doing. Now, let's just throw it into looking at some other matchups just because. Right, so we have Portugal versus Russia. Who do you reckon is going to win that one?
Russia, I think, have been doing pretty well, haven't they? Which not surprises me. I mean, Russia have always been good with their kind of Shadowburn, Forsaken, and all of those guys. But they beat Slovakia. They lost to England, obviously, but they beat Slovakia, which a lot of people were tipping Slovakia to do well, and maybe do one over Russia. So I don't know. Russia have got a decent kind of group of 6 players that play together, so that might be interesting. But Portugal obviously have a lot of experience with. I think Kyler's playing for them as well. So
yeah, we've actually gone live here. So we're going to the first mid. Keski pretty much hits his rollout, and he has a Bednar protecting him. So far pretty good. We actually see Hank going sniper to mid. So that's interesting, if nothing else. So let's see. So we expect a very passive style from Finland coming in here, but so far they're just getting rushed down. But look at that. Hank getting a nice kill, and Finland just taking this mid convincingly.
Tonmas there coming in so late, just standing on top, no one contesting those crates, and took him 3 rockets to take down the medic, but he was just taking his time. He was just delaying that spawn ever so slightly longer. But look at Bednar, he's in PC, he's calling for medic. What are you doing? Don't do that. You don't let them know you're there. And Finland
Maybe
aren't
the
sending
medic will
anyone
think
through
it's
PC.
the other soldier.
Yeah, but look, no one's checked for him. He's calling for medic again.
Oh
what
my
are you doing,
god,
dude?
that's actually triggering. Yeah, you're right.
He jumps in though. Can he get anything done? He's on to Zoob. He's running scout for some reason. Hank is on the sniper and Zoob is on to scout. So that's an interesting turn of events. I'm not going to question it. And this is obviously where we have the pause because Grabber times out. So.
Oh, rip. That's going to be an easy push for Finland. Yeah. But yeah, this might go back to the thing where I said where soldiers are really bad on this map. Just run 2 scouts and a sniper. Easy peasy. I guess that's how you do it. So now we're about to see the Uber push coming in from the right side. They're really far in and they still haven't been popped.
Cool,
Contra actually goes down to an Uber, to a crit, to just a sticky trap. And look at the Keski getting 3 kills. Is he about to get his 4th? Oh my god. Hank, 7 HP.
7 HP takes down Wonder. So Cawthon says in the chat, this ping, blaming his ping, and we saw Grab a drop earlier. So this is our second drop, 1-1 now in the old drop counter. Yeah, I mean, you thought it would be an easy round for Finland there, considering the circumstances, but
Keski just put the team on his back and took the.
Yeah, look at Keski's jumping. He's getting really high in the air, and Thomas replies by jumping in, gets a decent rocket onto Grabber, gets another one, and he finally goes down. Iku comes in with the follow-up. Sticky's just to take him down, and big air shot into one shoot. He lands on the health pack though, and he takes down Hank. Oh wow, what a play there. Finally dies.
Oh my god, Subon was just killed himself because he was getting an arrow. Dude, Cawthon is just missing everything. I'm guessing his internet is being really terrible or something, but man, Subon was just killed himself because Cawthon missed an arrow on him when he was standing still.
Yeah, I mean, if you're a medic and you're missing your arrows or you drop, it's always the ping, man. It's always the ping. It's never the medic's
Always.
fault.
Yeah.
That's what I say. If I miss an arrow, guys, it's ping. Can't help it.
No, you just yell, stand still, even if they were standing still.
Yeah, they are standing still. No, it's fine. Just listen. So they are at 100% though, and Grabber only at 75. And he's running his trusty vaccinator. So that's 3 charges in the bank for him. And Finland are just allowed to walk in so far deep here, and they finally used it. Keski launched into the air. He's so weak. He probably gets cleaned up. He does by Tonmas. And Wonder there, he's got the blast resistance on, but my friend, that's not going to help against a scout. And they are holding on to this though. Cawthon goes down quite late onto one shoe. And it is 2v3. Iku is stuck in here, so it is time to see if Tomba can make a play. And he does take down Grabber. He pistols down Grabber.
Wow. He doesn't get last, but he gets the medic, so that's pretty good. There's a scout here on the point. I think he will be able to take it with the help of the soldier here. But Soup might just decide to wait for his team and then jump in. Okay, we could see a recap.
Yeah, Cawthon, Grabber is still dead. He's only just respawned, so Cawthon has about a 20% advantage here, but he's got a soldier in his face! And Cawthon goes down to 50 HP. There's another soldier, one shoot! Can he let the
Ooh.
rocket? Great dodging there, and Tonmas takes him down just to protect his medic for a little bit longer. But that does mean with all of that action going on, he's kind of slowed up a little bit on the Uber stakes because Grabber's just been sat on last with a scout building
Finland's
up.
in already, and I don't like this because they don't actually have the point yet. Now they have the point, so now they can actually pressure it. But there's just so much time where they couldn't force Poland to go forward here. But looks like they might just work out in the end here. So they have one scout on the point. What? Everyone just died. But Iku with a nice pipe there at the end.
That air pipe there by I'm going to call that an air pipe. He was off the ground.
Yeah.
He wins his team the round there, which I understand what you're saying. It's when you haven't got that spire and you're already in on last, it gets a little bit tricky, especially when you don't have Uber. So if you get caught in, you're going to get screwed. But that first round goes over to Finland.
It's a pretty big last. It's a pretty big last, right? So if you don't force them forward, then they can just run circles around you forever. But we actually have a soldier jumping in pretty aggressively. It looks like he didn't actually go anything, and there we go. Finally, Soup goes in, gets taken down right away. So it's still 1-for-1 though. But it looks like Poland is in the driver's seat right now. They're running forward, but they've kind of been punched back here from some nice just hitting of shots here from coming up from Poland. And looks like this is eventually going to get whittled down, and Grabber, he's pretty much out.
Hank got all 4 kills there.
Oh,
I think he got 4. I want to say he got 4.
I'll just take your word for it. Looking in console, 4.
Yeah, because he got the 3 kill streak, but he hasn't got a kill streak on his pistol, and that's what he got the 4th kill with. So once again, we're seeing Hank staying alive. For longer in the mid-fight means at the end he's just cleaning up the frags and cleaning up that damage from the rest of his team. And Finland are going to capture second here, it looks like. And Poland don't agree with this decision as Keski is going to go down, so no demo for the last hold. And that may prove fruitful for Finland if they continue rolling forward. No demo, and Finland just taking it slow now, which I don't agree with. They should be in.
Yeah, and there we go. A little bit slower, but eventually they get in there. Bednar's pretty weak, and there's no stickies on the point, so whenever there's anyone close to the point, they're actually just forced to go out there. And look at Kaufman just surfing away there. He's very weak, but he's still in the fight, so he stays in there and keeps the heals going. But Poland, with a 2-man advantage here, just pushing out, and I think Finland's going to have to give it up, especially if they lose their demo man here. Is he not going to die? Oh, wow, he got out alive. Hank does go down, though. So, pretty clean recap here. They might even decide to just move on to mid, but Finland will be on mid to meet them.
Yeah, they are spamming that choke. Big jump in from Bednar. He runs right on top of the crates there, and he gets so much damage onto Iku, but he doesn't get the kill. Thomas does die, though. And Poland just flooding onto the point. They take down Zub, and Keski is jumping in, gets a lot of damage into that choke. Doesn't get any kills, and this is what I was talking about, Vita. Like, when Poland go forward, they're just launching their players forward. They're making full use of their man advantage. Look at Wanshu, he's so weak at the moment, but he's just getting aggressive. And the Uber is used, but Cawthon just gets it in time. Is going to pop it, and Hiku gets a nice pipe onto Wanshu to take him down. And there is just trading going all over the place. 2 down for each team here, but Poland are the weaker of the 2 teams. Keski kicks a pipe to the face and gets launched back there. So 3 down now for Poland. They've got to be careful. Keski is the furthest one forward, and they may have to give up this point.
So Iku wants to definitely see his team take mid here, and Poland looks like they're just going to oblige. Just going to run through all that pipe spam here and choke. They could, if they were really frisky, go in here, but I don't see them doing it, and I think it would be a mistake. So they are just going to go out, so they're not going to fall for anything and get too over aggressively here. But it's actually a small Uber advantage for Poland here. Do you think they realize this?
I was going to ask you exactly the same thing. I mean, I don't think they do. They used Uber at pretty much the same time. I mean, Poland used it slightly earlier, but I can't imagine they think it's going to make that much of a difference, although they are looking to get forward here. But once you take so much damage, I don't think they're going to be able to push. Cawthon getting his Uber now, and Zub is in sewer, so just trying to annoy, take the attention away from that choke, and oh no, Keski with the sticky trap takes down Tonmas. Keski jumps in, the demo
Soup's
jumps in and forces.
Like, there's no way Soup doesn't die here. Yeah, there we go. And now the Uber has come out. It's a better Uber for Poland, but they did actually drop a lot of players here, so they need to make the best of this. And one is actually out of ammo, so it's going to be an awful Uber. That's all very unfortunate for Poland right there. It was looking a lot better, but then just a series of unfortunate events just caused them to just lose momentum, and now they're going to have to get out and give up second.
Yeah, Hank is on fire in this game. He's on another 4 kill streak now. And Finland, when they move together in a group, they're just winning. Poland seem to be launching themselves forward, but Finland just kind of moving like a death ball, as it's been called before. Just in an entire group, and they do have the Uber advantage. And once again, do you think they're aware of how big this advantage is?
I don't think so. I think they're just better at building Uber, and they don't realize that Poland is not being quite as diligent with it. So I think we'll just see them just play it slow here. Just probably send in Soup at some point. Maybe they'll do something clever. Soup actually takes a body shot there, so whatever plan he had is gonna be halted while he gets some heals. Might even see Poland do a suicide.
Yeah, I mean, Poland are 1-0 down. I mean, they're a map down, they're a round down. There's 10 minutes gone in the map. With the 20 minutes left, they can't sit on last. They need to make something happen. They need to kind of get themselves in this game, because Finland are going to be content to just sit back on second, keep Poland
here comes
on their
the
last.
Suicide. Soup. There was actually Tomba followed him in as well, but they don't even get close to Graba, and this might actually cause a push, it looks like. Yeah, once you're just going to go out there, dodges the sticky trap, onto the demo. Might just get the demo here. It looks like they will, yeah, so this is a very good push, and Cawthon has gone down as well. So just everything going in Poland's way here, and very good recap here.
Yeah, Cawthon once again getting kind of caught out there post-Uber, and Grabber surviving. We saw that a few times on the first map on Gullywash, and Poland, they should be able to get this midpoint pretty much for free. I mean, if Finland contest, they're just going to lose players such as launched into the skybox and pistoled down by Wonder. And Finland got to be careful now. If they start losing players one by one, Bednar jumps in. He's going to land on Cawthon. He gets one rocket off.
Second soldier as well.
Cawthon does die.
Yeah, they get him, but at what cost? I think we'll see a counter push coming in here. And Tomba is in onto the demo, takes down the demo right away, and now he's onto the medic. He's very weak himself. No, never mind. He got a med kit. But actually, Grabber will survive on 11 HP, so Rad just cleaning up. There's this one demo here, and actually Grabber will clean him up. So Grabber surviving that beyond all the odds there. I feel like he should have died. But, good aggression there from Finland. They were in a bad situation, and they made the best of it, I think.
Yeah, they kind of salvaged something for that, but in the end, it does mean that Grabber has 100% Uber now, any second now, and Cawthon only at 15. So some serious off classes need to happen here. I think we do see Hank on the sniper, but we don't see a heavy, we don't see an NG or anything like that, which I think they kind of need.
The medic gets body shotted down by Hank. So, they were pushing bottom right, and when you're pushing bottom right, you need an Uber. So, when your medic dies like that, not only do you lose your Uber advantage, but you're also pushing through just the worst place to push process last. So another missed opportunity here for Poland. They're going to have to be kicking themselves.
There's another +2. That's the third drop we've seen today. And Grabber leading that, but the big jump in from Bednar takes Cawthon really low. And that wouldn't have been a drop beater, but at 95% you can almost consider it a drop, just
same effect.
An emotional drop,
Yeah, it basically has the same effect on the gameplay. It's just you can't really point fingers at the medic, but that is the only difference. So Finland will now push in here onto mid. They still have the Uber advantage, so they might just consider just moving on. Especially now that they have 2 picks, and they know there's a soldier in here, and actually trades for him. But still, when you're many people up here, you're okay with trading.
That's really smart from Finland. They have the advantage. They have the Uber. Poland know that. They know Poland know that. And they're just saying to Poland, right, we're going to cap this point, and you can come and contest us if you want, but we're just going to go invincible and slay you if you do. And that means, they start picking off players one by one who decide to contest, and, they've rolled it over to Spire. And sure, Grabber's now got 100%, but he's going to be stuck on his last once again. Tomba and Rad going to be off-classing to the sniper, so we're going to see another duel coming out between the headshotting classes. And, Finland, I think, are just going to wait and see if Tomba can make anything happen, get an opening pick, and maybe they'll push then, but otherwise it's up to Poland to make something happen.
Yeah, they've been very comfortable just playing this very slow style. We saw it mostly from Poland in the last game, but Finland, I don't think they're shy about just copying that act and just playing it very, very slow. And now we see both snipers here. I see the silhouette, so if he was wall hacking, he'd definitely be opening the door, but there we go. They do miss each other. So Rat did take quite a lot of damage, but he'll get out alive. And look at this, Sub actually putting on a ton of pressure, gets Wonju down to 8 HP. And Wonju was standing still trying to get arrowed, but when you stand still, there's also another thing that can hit you.
That 150 damage headshot on the 8 HP player is probably the definition of overkill there, but maybe that's going to instigate a push here from Finland. They do have the one-man pick for another 5 seconds here. A lot of damage going down onto the poles. They're not using the Uber, and the Uber comes out from Finland first. They're getting so much time on the point. Hank once again just standing on that point, but then the Uber comes out from Poland. They're going to clean up those players. 2 down now for Finland, and they're on the escape, trying to get out and can call them survive.
Tonmas up behind. They know because he just killed one guy, but that means that they can't push out and chase the medic, and there we go. They finally deal with Tonmas, but obviously this means that Cawthon will be able to get out very safely. Not even close.
That's the key thing this time. Cawthon surviving. Keeps at equal Ubers and allows Finland to contest here.
Keski is jumping behind.
Keski jumped in and takes him down. So what I just said means absolutely nothing because Finland no longer have a medic, and Poland probably going to want to push out here sometime soon.
Yeah, I'd say it was very correct what you said. It's very important that he stays alive. He didn't. That's very unfortunate. So once you get 2 nice kills here, and the sniper gets taken down by Wonder as well, who gets another kill, just cleaning up these really weak players. And now there's just nothing these 2 Finnish players can do. At best, they can get out. So they will be running. And they might have to concede mid here as well, if we don't get a lot of spawners very soon.
No, the spawners, they didn't get forward. Only person who did get forward was Icky, which is going to help a little bit. He might get caught out here. Bednar jumps in. Doesn't have the health for another jump. To take him down though, and yeah, like you said, Finland going to have to give it up, but Hank has off class to the sniper now. See if he can get some sort of kill. Doesn't land anything with that Machina. And Poland with the 100%, they're kind of in the same position that Finland were, but they're not deciding to get aggressive with it, although they are coming in deep left now. Through Suez, Zub on the scout is probably going to get caught out here, but he does force the Uber onto Grabber, which I don't know why he used there.
Yeah, that seemed like a pussy pop if I ever saw one. It seemed very unlikely. He didn't do it to save himself, did he? So he must have done it to save someone else, but why would you? An Uber is usually worth more than one player, especially when there's no one else
It was
around.
just Zub, though. It was just the scout, and, nobody had taken enough damage there to really be forced. So that means Cawthon is at 100%, and they are looking to push out through top lobby now. Getting aggressive. Thomas the furthest forward, just trying to spam that choke, and yeah, Poland just not contesting at all. They're just standing in choke. Bednar is on the sniper, so maybe they're going to try and bait everyone else to come into him. But Iku does go down there. Gets taken down by his opposing demo man, so Poland may be able to do something here.
It definitely looks like they've Ubered already, and Keski's very weak. He was forward, he goes down. Once you're up on the high ground, but gets jumped by both soldiers actually, but some scouts as Wonder just denying everything, and Finland would actually have to get out here. They just couldn't get that high ground. They just kept getting knocked down, and they just couldn't secure it. So, very good hold there by Poland. Now they have the Uber advantage, so they will be in the driver's seat. So let's see how they decide to approach this.
Yeah, and they are actually going to cap Spire now. And it looks like Grabber isn't going to pop this time. So he is going to have Uber advantage for last. So we're going to see a last push. And you can see the Finns already very wisely switching onto some off classes. They don't have their demo man up just yet.
Right. They're going
on the heavy.
Again. Don't drop. All right, he doesn't. He Ubers out this time. So when you have an Uber going bottom right, it's quite fine. They need to deal with the sentry though, and they do. So now it's just a matter of getting a little bit of time on the point and baiting everyone forward. So far they've done just that, but they haven't gotten any kills, and they still have a lot of damage they need to do, and they're just too slow, and Cawthon gets the Uber. Wonder's still skulking on the right side. He's hiding between the barrel and the barrels, but he's been picked out here and gets taken down.
Yeah, one shoot's too far out to actually do anything here. Finland are going to recapture this. I mean, what went wrong there? Cawthon was close to his Uber, but I guess Poland just didn't get the frags. That heavy kind of soaked up all the damage and didn't go down.
Yeah. And just also, they didn't clear the point of Sticky, so they couldn't put enough time on it. They had to all edge it really badly, and of course they went in through the left side, which is really good if the combo is on the left side. But they waited a little bit too long, so Poland kind of caught the wind of it and just moved to their own left. So they just managed to kind of kite the Uber for long enough, and then they spent Uber dealing with the heavy and the sentry, and then it was just a little bit too slow, and they got the Uber. So. Yeah, that's what happens sometimes when you go that route.
Yeah, and it's just been back and forth. I mean, we're still only at 1-0. Finland 1-0, and the first map was 3-2. It did go to a golden cap. with 10 minutes to go, I wouldn't be surprised if this also goes to a golden cap. It's been back and forth. We've seen last pushes from both teams, but Poland are in control of mid at the moment. So you could argue that the advantage on this round is with them for the minute.
Bednar's jumping in here. He's the medic, but no.
That was a great surf from Cawthon there.
Yeah.
That was brilliant. He surfs it and just goes all the way around in a circle and still lands on top of the spire. So brilliant play from him there, just to stay alive, not get forced. So well played, and Finland happy to sit back here. They don't want to push off of that advantage, and Poland maybe going to send in another soldier bomb, just try to get something out of it, get some bomb to open the doors for them.
This is a situation where I really like to run a sniper in Poland's situation, because if you have a sniper, you can be really aggressive and take the whole sewer area. Then it's very annoying for the enemy team to deal with the sniper from sewers, because there will always be like stickies and soldiers in there. So you can't really deal with him, and then you can always just clear the stickies and give your snipers some peeks. But it looks like they have just gone with this cookie cutter, and once you like maybe going for suicide, maybe sending in the roamer. Either way, they're gonna have to get creative if they want to get this, because Cawthon has shown that he's very good at dodging these bombs.
Yeah, and I agree with what you said about the sniper. It's brilliant. It's just get into the sewer and then you can just take pot shots, and either the team has to get aggressive to deny you, and that's when you can kind of bait a player into sticks or whatever, and you just pick someone off, or they stand back, and that just gives your sniper space and time, and eventually, if he's good enough, eventually he's going to land a headshot onto someone and take someone down. So I'm surprised someone like Wonder or Rad, but no, we're coming in with a big one from Bednar
and
again.
The demo. So the demo's in here. Oh my god!
Cawthon and Tomba and Hank all go down to Keski. Huge plays there. He uses the Iron Bomber, just lands those pipes. Great surf by Grabber to stay alive for them. Counterbomb from Zoob. Iku goes down. Thomas is the only person alive. He's going to bomb in on the medic now. Big jump in. Can he catch him out in the sewer? He's 1v1. He's got his stick out. And Grabber's going to get the Ubersaw onto Thomas, and that is a wipe beater. Finland losing all of their players, and Grabber with 100%.
They didn't expect the follow-up demo suicide. That's what they didn't expect. So they got creative there, and that bomb was just money. Mom, get the camera. That was insane. And then Grabber holding on to his Uber throughout that entire thing. It would have been very easy to just stay in there, doling out heals and then popping Uber. But he stayed alive. Like, there was just no way he was popping that. So he got it. And so now Poland will have a full Uber advantage, and look like they're going to go in through right side, like far right.
Yeah, they're going to go face to face with Zoob's level 2 sentry though. He is taking the spam, but they have to use the Uber early on. Probably not what they wanted to do here. They're trying to take Panic Room, and Tomba is on their heavy. He's going to gun down Rad, spinning around there. Look at that sensitivity, but he's finally going to get cleaned up. 2 players down for Poland, 3 now, and Thomas getting so much damage onto one shoe, takes him down. Grabber is running away with his tail between his legs. He's only got Keski for company, and surely he's going to get finished off here. Thomas there. Thomas the saviour of the last point. Grabber, go for the gap back. Grabber's on the back.
There's no way, right?
I didn't know whether they were going to leave him. There was a moment that I don't know what's going on anymore, but I have no idea.
To the medic already, but he gets taken down. So at this point, they're just feeding, just doing his individual plays. That's not quite going to work. But yeah, just going in far right seems like a poor decision when you have Uber advantage. Normally, you just want to go in through like middle left, so you're as close to them as possible. You don't need to milk Uber when you have the advantage.
Well, either way, gone down here. Losing your demo, is happening to both teams. They're being very, very aggressive with their demos, but when you have that player down, it's going to reduce the ability for them to push in and kind of opens the door. But the Uber does come out from Finland. Grabber doesn't have it yet. He's already in lobby. He got out there very, very quickly. But Keski, Keski is going to be the first casualty. Wonder gets picked off as well, but no, the Poles are replying. They managed to get a few kills themselves, and the Finns are so weak here, but they don't have the players to get the cleanup.
Yeah, Bednar gets 2 there, jumping in from behind, but that will be it. So Finland has finally earned second point here, and I don't think Poland will be able to contest it. They might. Keski looks like he wants to do it. They have a scout. Yeah, they will contest it. So never mind. I was wrong.
I like this. There's balls to the wall, man. They got 6 minutes. They're 1-0 down. They're a map down. They need to do this. They need to get forward. And Finland thinking, okay, we don't want to lose 2 players here for no reason. And Grabber does have that Uber advantage. So good aggression from Poland here means they're going to hold on to their second point, and they're going to be able to push into mid with an uber advantage, and they're going through sewer. So interesting choice. We'll see if it works.
Well, there's like 8 stickies there they have to get through, and they have to be quick.
Oh, soldiers on top.
Oh, and Uber does get forced to, so the soldier does get it. And Keski, as always, has just jumped in super aggressively. And that Uber didn't do too much. It bought a lot of space, but that's about it. But Bednar in, once again onto the medic, so close.
Oh,
And there we
Wanzu!
go.
Wanzu with one rocket takes down Tonmas and Cawthon. Huge jump. And Grabber stays alive. He's on mid. Keski was also that far forward. So they are going to capture this midpoint, but there's 3 fragging classes for Finland. We're going to see if they're going to try. Yeah, they're probably going to try and recapture this midpoint. But Grabber needs to stay alive here. He's got Wonder now for support as well. Can they get any frags? No, they've got to be careful. If they start losing their players, that uber advantage is going to be nothing. But Bednar, big jump in again. He's just landing on top of the crates. Gets a lot of damage down onto Hank, who has to back off there. And once again, this pure aggression coming out of Poland, Beta. They're just kind of... They're saying, no, we're not going to let you recapture this point. We're just going to keep going forward. And then, you know... If they can take hold of this advantage, they can roll this to last. They can get around, posted up on the board.
Looks like they will be going to PC right now. Like that at least that's what it looks like they want to do. So they're going to be doing a dot post, it looks like. And they need to be going about now. Grabber just got it. And Cawthon is pretty close. He's on 70. They might just catch a soldier out here. Yeah, there you go. That's a pretty good start. And here we go. The double scout Uber. This is very scary. They make them just keep on following these scouts. And just rooms in there. And look at the demo almost going down as well.
Wonder's on the point, but they haven't capped second yet. Poland are on the last point, but they can't cap it. They can't cap it.
Yeah, that
And
is
the
the
Uber
danger
comes
of
out.
doing that.
Uber comes out from Finland, and Hank is just going to get a 4K, including Grabber and Keski and Wanzu. And, what was it you were saying earlier? You were worried about Finland when they pushed the last point. I mean, they got the round in the end, but they were closer to having that Spire capped. And Poland didn't. They had 1 player on there capping it away. 3 players on the last point. They would have capped that without a doubt in the amount of time they had spent on there, but they did not have the Spire. So a bit of a waste there, and the Finland team are just strolling forward. 2 soldiers just running through. Hank is now on a 6 kill streak. He is just slamming. Tonmas then picks up Bednar as well, and they're just walking for great stickies to take down Zub there from Keski. But 3 players down now for Poland, and they do have an uber disadvantage. 1-0 on the sniper, has to be careful. Grabber is left alone. Tonmas is surely going to clean him up here, and Poland's dream of getting through to the next round is falling off.
Keski got 2. Keski was overextending so hard, but he still killed the scout and then got the medic too. That's amazing and awful at the same time. But you know, eventually, so he kind of saves a really bad situation and some really bad play there, just overextending. Keski, I think his stats are going to be pretty crazy when we look at the damage stats, but
I want to see Hank's stats, man. He just constantly on a kill streak. He is just getting so many frags at the moment, and you know, the two soldiers from Finland just seem to be always bombing in. And yeah, I know Keski is doing well. I mean, it's something you don't see that often, and it's efficient. He's getting the medic and he's getting the damage out, but in him dying, is it really worth that trade? But Poland are coming out now. Big jump from Bednar. Gets a lot of damage.
Yeah, they know they have to push out here, and they do push out, and that was very clean. Just completely spams everyone out, and Bednar once again alone. Yeah, that was bad. Gets completely denied. Now the second soldier comes to get completely denied. So some poor coordination here, and they're getting punished for it. Rat goes down as well, and I think Poland, you know, I want to say they should get out, but looking at the time, they probably shouldn't. So just a poor situation there, all caused by Bednar jumping in a little bit too early.
Yeah, just under 2 minutes to go. Iku does go down though to Wanzu, and Zub goes down as well. The Uber is forced onto Poland, and Finland just need to milk this. Cawthon just needs to not drop, and he does use after getting hit with 1 rocket there. Bednar launches all the way behind, so Poland have got both of their soldiers on mid at the moment. So, you know, they're not going to be able to back cap as there's ×5 on the Spire already for Finland. But they can be aware of the 2 bombing soldiers coming in from behind. Bednar tries for a jump, just lands face first into the wall. 1 shoot is going to just get it cleaned up there by Tomba, who gets both of them. And Poland have no choice now but to walk out.
For Grappa, so they're going to go out to, you know, just fight it. And, you know, they're doing a DM fight, where you just repush right away. So they choose to vaccinate for that. That makes a lot of sense, but it's just not going to be enough. Rad is the only one alive. Yeah, it gets taken down by a quickie bomb. So I think That was just about the last hurrah. Yeah, GD well plays have been called in chat. Very
They had to
close
do
game.
it. I mean,
Yeah,
you said that, when it was 2-2 in Gullywash, and, Poland went for that kind of, that last minute push with, about 60 seconds left on the clock. And you said they should have run Vaccinator. Maybe they listened to that and thought, right, we're going to do that this time. We do see the back cap as Hank walks all the way onto the point and does officially make it 2-0. Although with, only 30 seconds left on the clock, there was no way for Poland to roll it out and get it. And the Poles are already leaving the server. So there we go, 2-0 on the map. And that means 2-0 in maps as Finland take both Gullywash and Process. And they'll be going through to the quarterfinals to play Germany.
yeah. So a very close round there, Poland. They kept fighting until the very end there, until it was pretty much impossible for them to actually do anything. They used basically all the tricks in their book, and it still wasn't enough. So Finland was the better team, but it wasn't by a whole lot, and Poland put up a hell of a fight, I think. So they can be pretty proud of their performance today, I think.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, coming into this game, everyone would have said Finland were, by far the favourites. I think Finland, haven't they finished they won one of these Nations Cups before. They have a rich history in it, and they have some really strong players, like we said at the earlier. At least 3 Prem players, regular Prem players in their lineup. Obviously missing Ast today, playing his show match in preparation for I-58, but Doom was missing for Poland as well. He's probably a big name for them on Scout. So, probably equal in that fact. But, Finland, like I said, they hadn't really been tested in the group. Their biggest test came against Netherlands, who of course have captain, have Damizi and such like that. But, I think this has been their first real test. And, against Germany, they're going to need to maybe step it up a level or two. But that should be a very interesting game for sure to see those two go at it in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, I'm still a little bit disappointed that we didn't get to see Poland versus Germany.
We saw it in the group stage. I mean,
All right, fair enough.
you can
I guess
you can
we've
look at
seen
the. I'm sure there's like an STV you can kind of watch and reminisce of what could have been.
Yeah, I probably casted it and forgot about it too. That probably happened. But yeah, either way, do you want to look at some logs here?
Yeah, I've got them on my screen. Top fragging was Keski, so you were talking about the damage. Actually, his damage was pretty low.
Yeah.
221, which is behind quite a lot of players. Like,
Yeah, surprisingly.
yeah. But I think that's the thing. He was jumping in, getting 2 or 3 frags, and then dying. And those bursts of damage every couple of minutes. Sure, you get a med pick and it looks really good, but maybe in the long run, it's not the constant damage that maybe the other players were putting out.
Yeah, he has really high deaths. So just he made some plays, but he also made a lot of plays on himself by being down and just allowing Finland to just walk through chokes. So it looked very cool, but apparently not quite efficient damage output. But Iku actually had a really good game, kind of an anonymously good game, I think. He has amazing stats. It's just he was just really solid throughout the entire thing. It wasn't quite the same bursts that we saw from Keski. So it's pretty interesting to see the contrast between those two demo man styles.
Yeah. I mean, he put like nearly 3k more damage out over the course of the half an hour, and he only died 12 times, which is the same as his medic. The only person who died less was Grabber with 10, which is interesting to see Grabber dying less than the Finnish medic Cawthon, seeing he's on the losing team. But yeah, Iku only dying 12 times. I suppose when he's alive, he's being a constant threat then, and that maybe just was the stalling factor for Poland. But not to mention also, Wanshu also got 26 frags, as did Hank, as did Tonmas. So 4 players actually getting the most frags there. Yeah, I mean, Hank seemed to, for me, obviously he got the last cap there on Gullywash, but today on Process, definitely he definitely did a lot of work, and it's not just the frags, but it was the timing of the frags, and he was staying alive after mid fights in order to clean up that damage, get those frags, and allow his team to win and just kind of move forward. So yeah, I think I would say him and Iku definitely putting in a big performance today.
Also, another thing that's really good to look at is Grabber only died 10 times, whereas Cawthon died 12, which is a bit unexpected when we see that Finland won 1 or 2-0. Right, and we also see 3 Uber drops coming out for Coughlin on this one, so a rough game for him, and then 1 for Grabber.
He was complaining about ping at one point. I think
Yeah,
his first drop, but as a medic man myself, you're always going to blame something if something goes wrong. It's
yeah, your mind is broken or something.
but yeah, I mean, I think Grabber, he did a good job in surviving and getting out of situations where he knew it was a lost cause. If his team was pushing into last, usually him and somebody else would get out so that at least he was up for his team to defend, mid or something like that. Whereas I think Cawthorn and Finland, they pretty much just went balls to the wall with their last pushes. They were all in, and if it didn't work, then they pretty much got wiped. And obviously it did work once for them. I suppose in the end twice, but the general last push, it worked once for them, and that led to the win. But it did fail a few times, and then that allowed Poland, I think, to stay in the game for as long as they did.
Yeah, and 1 push is all it takes sometimes. Pretty incredibly. I know it says 2-0, but it was really 1-0 more than anything. It was pretty much an afterthought, that last cap. Oh, yeah. Sometimes that's all it needs, and Poland, they're probably regretting a lot of their last pushes. That's pretty much how they lost this, because they had a lot of opportunities to make it even. And just never capitalized on it. And they even dropped once, too, when they had a really good opportunity.
Yeah, I think that drop was quite big. I think it was it Hank or Tomba who got the snipe onto Grabber? And like you said, they went through that lower area, and when your medic drops and you're not invincible, you're just going to get put in through the meat grinder, just get mulched down. So maybe Poland could have made something out of that, but it's those individual plays that sometimes make the difference, and that allows your team to kind of work around it and get through it. But yeah, I mean, I haven't got anything else to say on the game. So do you have any shout outs, Peter, before we say goodbye?
I guess we should mention that while this game was going on, there was also an I-58 show match going on between Full Tilt and Crowns Esports, which is the old nameless roster. And they are, of course, going to I-58. So if you want to see that, definitely donate to them so they can get to land and not sleep in a beanbag outside of the venue. And then, definitely check it out. Check out the VODs of that if you were watching this. So I'm sure that was a really good game. I looked at the scores and I remember the scores being close. So that's all I'll say about that. And I-58 is, of course, the next big LAN to look forward to. There's going to be a lot of people at LAN. Are you going to be at I-58?
I will be at I-58, yes. I'll be there from the Thursday. I'll try and get my own stream up so people can, just at least look through the camera and have a look at what the setting looks like I did last year. But yeah, no, Team Fortress TV, I watched the first map actually before I came to this game, and I can say indeed it was a very, very close and interesting game. So if you want to see 2 of Europe's bests going head to head in a kind of an exhibition, a little bit of an appetizer before I-58 in a couple of weeks' time, to see if any of those teams can go through to the final and win it for Europe. Obviously, we're going to have an Australian team, which is it Jasmine T, I believe they're called? Jasmine? Yep. And we've got Froyotech from the North American region as well. So we're going to have 3 continents going at it once again for the 3rd year in a row. And actually, no, we didn't have Australians last year. But for the 3rd year, we're going to have 3 continents fighting. So that's going to be really, really interesting if you're interested in the 6v6 action. So definitely check that out. And I'll just add a shout out to Deutschland, which is happening 2 weeks afterwards. A slightly more low-key LAN for the Highlander players out there. So if you're interested in donating to that cause, obviously try and get the guys to the I-58 LAN. But if you want to donate towards the prize fund for the Deutschland LAN, which is the Highlander LAN in Germany, what should be happening at the start of September, definitely go and check out deutschland.tf for some more information to see about the teams. There are some top teams going as well. So, I-58 is going to have the top teams from 6v6 in Europe going, whereas Deutschland is going to have some of the top teams from European Highlander going, including the likes of Strong Opinions, Fair Enough, and Hypander. So definitely check that out. But yeah, this has been BlackOut Gaming TV. Thank you to Beta for joining me today, and to John for setting up the stream, doing all the camera work and the production. This game was Finland versus Poland in ETF2L Nations Cup number 6. We'll be casting some more matches as we move on to the quarterfinal stage to find out the best country playing 6v6 TF2. We'll see you next time.
Bye bye.